Hello students. In our previous class, we saw a program. Let me show you that program. And yes, where is the program? Yes, this was the program. To show use of object as parameter. We have seen this program, how it is working. And you need to understand this. And in order to understand this, you need to practice it with a different set of arguments, different number of arguments and all. And if you have any issue, you may ask me you may ask. Today, we'll see something related to these things, which is a closer look at argument passing. So first of all, you need to understand what is an argument. Okay. Most of you already know it, but let me make the point very clear. For that, let me show you simple programs having arguments in them. Look, overloaded. Look, when we make any function like this, in a function, the first part, this tells the return type. This is the name of function, and the set of data inside the parentheses are the arguments. These are also called parameters, which is there inside the parentheses. Here in this case, we have two parameters, int a and b. In this case, we have no arguments, no parameters are there. So this is called parameters, arguments. What is the use of them? These data are passed on from the place when they are called. Look, when we are calling this test 10 and 20, we are passing this data. So what will happen? This 10 will pass on to A and 20 will become to B, passed. And then whatever you wish to do with this set of data, you can do it here. When you call it again, gives a different set of data, and at that moment, that different set of data will be passed on to this A and B, and work will be done accordingly. It is similar to let me give you a very simple common example. Household equipment like mixer grinder. For mixer grinder, we need arguments to be grinded. Arguments to be grinded. The data to be grinded. The task of grinder is to grind. So first time we grinded different set of spices. Second time we grinded different set of spices. So every time we are calling this function, we can provide different set of data. In this case, 10 and 20 are given. Next time when you call, you can give 100 and 200. Next time you can call 300, 400, anything you can give. So this is how it is working. And this is actually argument. Here we have two arguments, int a and int b. Here we have one argument, that is double. So this is argument. So in general, there are two ways that computer language can pass an argument to a subroutine. This is very important topic. The first way is called call by value. This call by value is something that we are using since very beginning. We mostly use this. What is this? This will become very clear to you, but let's first see this. This approach copies, now it is about this. This approach copies the value of an argument into the formal parameter of the subroutine. Now it is very important to understand this line. This approach means what? Call by value. This approach copies the value of an argument into the formal parameter of the subroutine. Now there are two things. One is actual parameter, another is formal parameter. You also need to understand what is actual and what is formal parameter. Fine. Let me make this point also very clear with example. Look, we are calling this function with actual data 10, here 1020, here 45.33. These are called actual parameters. Here 45.33 is actual parameter. Now here double A is formal parameter. Here int A, int B, these are formal parameter. So what we when we give when we give a value of argument into formal parameter, then it get copied. I mean, this 10 will go to A. A new set of variable is created A, and this 10 is copied to A. A new copy is there. What is copy? When we make a photocopy of any paper, the original is original, and there is another set which is a photocopy, a copy of that. If anything will do with the photocopy, then nothing will happen with the original. The same case is here. So when we pass by value, then a copy of the data is transferred in another set of variable, in another variable. Nothing happens to the original one. This is called pass by value. We'll make this point very clear with the examples also, but first let us have a theoretical idea about this. Therefore, changes made to the parameter of subroutine have no effect on argument. In simple words, then when it is passed by value, then what happens? Whatever you are doing with the copy, that is not reflected in the original. Okay, so this is what happens with the pass by value. The second way is argument can be passed is called call by reference. Now this is important. What is a reference? So pass by call by reference and call by value. Let me first make this clear with the help of Excel, where I'll show you the same RAM. Look, suppose I have made a variable int A and int B. Okay, and yes, always remember that every memory cell has address. Cell number 1, cell number 2, cell number 3, cell number 4, cell number, like this. Every memory has address. Now, if suppose I have made a variable A, whose value is 5, variable C, whose value is 6. What is the address of A? The address of A is 1. And the A is kept in cell number 1. Address of B is cell number 2. Now, this is the address of A and B. Now, what is the value of A and B? Value of A is 5 and the value of B is 6. So, you should be very clear right here that address is different, value is different. Address means the variable A is acquiring the rack number 1 and value B is acquiring the rack number 2. But what is the value? 5 and 6 is the value. Now, let me make a prototype of a suppose this is a variable which we defined. Suppose this is the definition of the function. We are doing something with x and y. Now, how do we call it? ob1 dot sum, then a comma b. So if this is the case, suppose that if I have written this particular code in the main function, and in that main function, if int a and b are there, whose value is this and this, then what happens when we call a function in this way? Right now, I'm showing you an example of pass by value. Then what happens if you call in this way? Then whatever the value of a is got passed to the formal parameter int x. Means in RAM, int x is newly created and int y is also created, and then whatever the value of a is get passed to x, and what the value of b is get passed to b. And whatever happens with x and y inside the function happens with x and y and not with a and b. And that's why this technique is called pass by value. The value is passed, the copy of that value is passed. They are in different I mean, this is different location. This is in different location. Now, what is the value of x? The value of x is 5. The value of y is 6. But what's the address of x? The address of x is now 5. 5. Cut it and paste it somewhere else. So now what is the address of x? Now don't get confused in address and the value. Address is just the rack number of Almira, or here in this case the cell number in RAM, whereas the value is something else. Or let us give another value, 236 and minus 789. Suppose this is the case now. Now when we call this function, the value of x will become 236 and minus 789. But what is the address of x and y? In this case, the address of x is 8 and the address of y is 9, where the address of a is a1 and address b is 2. So means in simple words, the copy is created, and whatever you do with this, the effect is there in the copy. But when we call, or when we call a function, and when we pass the reference, how we pass the reference? Let me show you. Dear students, this is not the code of Java. I'm now writing the code of C or C++. In C or C++, we write like this: address of A and address of B. This address of operator is not in Java, but in Java it is done in a different way. I'll tell you that way. First, to make the concept clear, I'm taking this example. Now what happens when we do something like this, and yes, pointer variable is created like this. Now what is pointer variable? No need to know about that. Pointer variables keep the address of the variables. It's in C or C++. But in Java, I'll tell you, in Java objects are passed. But before this, just to make the concept clear, I'm giving this example. Then when we do something like this, then what happens? A new variable is created. X is there, but X does not contain the value. It contains what? The address 1. Y contains the address 2. Now what? When X and Y will be used, they are now referring to these addresses, okay, 1 and 2, and they are referring to these addresses, and whatever values are stored in these addresses, they work directly on them. If any changes are made to X and Y, they are reflected here also, because there is no copy of the value. They are directly referring to the address. They're directly referring to this reference of this value. And in this case, whenever any changes are made, these are reflected, or these are done to the variables itself. So this is the difference. So let us now see some example. The second way is, in this approach, a reference to the argument, not the value of the argument, a reference to positive argument. Inside the subroutine, this reference is used to access the actual argument is specified in the call. This means that changes made to the parameter will affect the argument used to call, the thing that I just explained it. So let us have a look. Look at this example. There is a class test which has one function, void math, whatever name, int I and j. I is equal to I into 2, j equal j by 2. Okay? Means the value is being changed. Means I equals I into 2 and j equals j divided by 2 can be written in this way, shorthand operator that we studied already in shorthand operator, or you can watch video over the operators. You can find these things. Now another class main function, look, int a and b are made, and this statement is there before call. Before calling the function, the value of a and b, and then after calling this, the value of a and b. So you'll find that nothing has changed in a and b, because what has happened? When we have passed this a and b here, the value of a, whatever 15 has passed to I and 20 is passed to j. And now whatever thing is happening with I and j, and nothing is happening with a and b. Look at the next example. A and b is there. One function is there which has primitive data type int a and b. Another overloaded function is there. Actually, not overloaded. In this case, see, object is given as argument, and O dot A equals A into 2, and P dot means the thing is happening to this, and see the way it is being passed. First, an object is created with initial value 15 and 20. Now what has happened? The OB A and B have 15 and 20. OB1 dot A has 15 in its value and cell, and OB dot B has 20, because object is created. Now we know that whenever any object is separate copy is created. Now what we are doing, we are passing this object. Now this object is get transferred to O. Now this concept is prevailing here. So object O is now referring to this, and object O is also now referring to this. It's a little complicated to understand, but once you try, you'll understand this. When we created OB object, then OB1.A value is 15 and 20. Now when we created an object O, then O is also referring to the same location, and whatever changes are being made here, change is getting reflected to the same. Now change, it has changed. 15 is multiplied by 2 and is divided by 2. So thank you dear students. Please watch this video, practice it, and if you have any problem, ask. See you in the next